shoot. Everyone coming back? Good.
Well, you guys.
What's it? Is that Camille? On with the connection. Okay. So any questions about that so far?
It's not a question, it's a comment. When I did this, I didn't do this because the essay is going to be difficult to write. I did it because editing those essays takes days and weeks. It's like once you finish your first draft and then your second one and then the third. I remember when I was in high school, I
Yes.
had to rewrite mine like 7 times.
Yes. Well,
This is why I was like,
look, in this situation, I'm going to guide you guys, okay? I'm going to do what I can over the next several weeks to guide you by the hand, okay? A shepherd leading his flock through this process, okay? Because I have my own storytelling structure, okay? And like I said, I have an idea as to the elements, the key storytelling elements I want to see in there. And I believe each of you has a good story to tell. Even more importantly, okay? I'm not gonna hear, I don't wanna hear anyone say, but I got nothing to say about myself. I have no stories to tell. No, you each have something worth sharing. Yes, who is that? So, but anyway, look, going back to what Layla said, the bottom line is we're gonna do the best we can, because I know this isn't a writing class or journalism class, okay? This is ultimately about journalism and social media, or social media at least, okay? So we are gonna do the best we can with that strategic communication storytelling essay, okay? Any questions before I move forward? Okay, so here are some of the, let me just show you the, all right, let me show you the article that I wrote. Just to help you visualize, let me share the screen, okay? So you can see what I have on my website, on my LinkedIn. Can you guys see this article?
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, good, thank you, hold on. You know, I always got to double check, okay? So I wrote this. Let me give you the backstory. I wrote this. I know this says 2020, but I wrote it in 2019 because I was censored. My colleagues at Chinese State Television forced me to take this down because they wanted me to keep my job with them top secret for some reason, okay? I had written this about what it was like. I even took this photo, okay? I took this photo because in the background is Chinese State Television, okay? This, as I said, CCTV, Chinese Central Television headquarters are based right there. And so I took this photo of the taxi driver's face leading me toward there. Anyway, I wrote this 2 years ago because I wanted to explain to the world, no, to future employers, why this American journalist coming from this democratic tradition was now working for one of the world's largest propaganda networks, Chinese State Television. Why had this guy gone over to the other side, or gone over to the dark side, it might seem to some. And so I felt the need to write an essay explaining why I was doing what I was doing and what does it say about me, okay? So I wrote this, as you can see from the title, I called it The View from Inside, An American Enters the World of Chinese Media. Dun, 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 you can hear the music in the background, right? Dramatic music, okay? So I will, here, I'll send you the link, okay? Not because, I'm not saying I expect you necessarily to read the entire thing. Although if you're having difficulty sleeping, yes, this would really help you doze off at night, okay? But I want you to use it as a model of sorts, okay? Because what I did in this story, I opened, I think a little colorfully with a Chinese colleague saying, so why are you here? Why are you working for us, okay? And then I explain what I mean that, so I'll actually talk to you about how to open colorfully, even to do a better job than I did, okay? To tell the story. For example, Erol, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll just use you as a quick example, okay? Erol, you may recall, mentioned that in the future, after his basketball playing career is over, you'd like to be a coach or a teacher, a trainer,
Yeah,
right?
I just coached last weekend too, so I'm gonna add that in there this weekend.
All right, excellent, great to hear, okay? Now, you may also recall, I recall Erol also saying that when he was younger, at some point in his youth, that there was some coach who gave you a chance, right? Somehow broadened your horizons, right? Opened up a world of greater opportunities for you, correct?
Yeah, my coach now give me a full scholarship.
Okay, okay, right? So then you could actually open colorfully. I'll show you how to do this, okay? Next time we'll talk more about the writing. But you could actually open, so there I was, 16 years old, playing with my friends, my buddies, my high school teammates, and up came this older man who I'd never seen before. And he said, Erol, do you have a minute? And what he then told me would go on to change my life. You see what I mean? I'm just imagining, I haven't spoken to Erol about this. But you can open with something humanizing. We see Erol and this key moment when the light bulb went off, okay? When someone touched him, or when the idea came to you to become a nurse or to become a doctor or a scientist or what have you, okay? And and then you can, from there, you can connect the dots to, and I never, if this were Erol writing this, okay? And I never forgot the opportunity that he gave to me. And ever since then, I thought, you know what? One day I would like to be able to give such opportunities to other kids in the future, okay? So that's why one day when my playing days are over, I would like to do X, Y, Z. Or that's why even today, as I continue with my studies and my basketball playing, I'm looking for a summer internship to be working with kids, you know, and giving them the same chance that coach gave to me. You guys see what I mean? This is just off the top of my head, okay? I'm just, the reason why I'm saying it this way, Erol, is because I think everyone has a story. Even everyone has the potential for their own little documentary film. That everyone has something interesting enough that now I see that not only does everyone have a story, everyone has a potential documentary film about them. Even maybe a Hollywood feature film. But don't think too much of yourself, okay, in that regard. But still, some could even be, but minimally a documentary film. So Erol's story could be about, you see how I'm seeing it. But within there, Erol, with that, guys, just that one example. Within there's a core message, okay? Which would be about Erol's desire to teach and to train and to work with youth, right? To be a mentor, right, Erol?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just guessing. I mean, I would like to hear your thoughts. I'll ask you in just a second, okay? That maybe for you to fill in some of the gaps here. But there would be that core message supported by the evidence of him then saying, then I've done this, I've done that, not only when I'm playing for my own teams, but then working in the community, like last summer or 2 summers ago, I did this. If you have such evidence, right? Okay. And so there's a core message supported by concrete, credible, believable evidence wrapped into a humanizing story about Erol. You see what I mean? It's not just, hey, let me tell a story or a story about my past, right? Or how I got started. No, it's thinking even strategically about which story to tell and why that story, and because it says something about me. And that's your message. And not only do I want to do this in the future, but I've already done X and Y and Z. So then you're supporting that with evidence. You all see what I mean? What are your thoughts? Anyone panicking? Like, hey, I didn't expect a writing class, no fair. Any thoughts? Please. Or questions? You know I'm open to it. So that's just one example I just threw out there off the top of my head. I want to brainstorm some more examples with you all, okay? But if you go back to my essay here, okay? I had to be very clear, and I handled this very delicately, that I didn't pretend like working for Chinese television is like working for CNN or BBC or MSNBC. I said, I don't want to call it propaganda. That's a pretty strong word. So I phrased it, critics, of course, paint it all as propaganda aimed at defending the government. I tried to be clever as to, I don't want to present it like me saying something about Chinese media, but how others see it, okay? But then I explained, I began a 1-year assignment, okay? Doing this and doing that as news editor and scriptwriter for this current affairs program, okay? But then what I said here, this is my core message too. For me, this gig also represents more than a mere job. It marries together 3 of my career's consuming passions: international storytelling, journalism, teaching, and global communications. I now bring each into the newsroom, applying them in different ways. Why do you think I mentioned this? Let me see. Who among my participants here can explain or guess as to why do you think I mentioned that up high in my story, in my essay?
So people can know what to expect from like what aspect, sort of.
Who was this? Aisha. That was
Aisha.
Aisha. Yes, Aisha.
Yeah.
So repeat that one more time so that people can.
So they can look at it in like a storytelling aspect, sort of, so they know that what they're about to read is like a first-hand account of something that there's experience, because it's global communications, like, you know, so they should expect to be knowledge too. Knowledge,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, on the one hand, you're right that I'm also indicating what this essay is about, kind of thing, right? And below me explaining more about that, okay? But also, I mean, so that what you're talking about is almost like the writing aspect of how I wrote an essay, okay? So I'm indicating what's in the essay, right? Almost like a thesis paper, like, oh, you need a strong statement, and then, okay, that's what your paper's about, right? Yes, but also, yeah. But from a strategic communications perspective, why did I mention this? Remember, it's not just, oh, I want to educate the audience. Here, I'm not in teacher mode, okay? What else was I trying to communicate here to my audience? Fasola, any idea? Really? You remember I just gave Erol's example, okay? That he would maybe, if he were to mention that moment when he first crossed paths with the guy who had this positive impact on his life, okay? Right? But he's also sending a message of how he's been inspired, or he never forgot that, or had such deep impact on him that he wants to pay it forward and help out. So there's a core message behind that story. I mention this again because this is also about my own branding, okay? And you know what? You know, when I look back at this, I would say, I don't know, maybe this isn't my best writing. Maybe it's not so clear, okay? But I did want to make sure up high that if anyone reads this, that they understand right away, oh, so this guy actually has a career in these 3 fields. Okay, again, this is about my brand. I knew I was introducing myself, okay? and again, trying to almost defend myself as to why this journalist with 25, this American journalist with 25 years experience in democratic journalism is joining the other side. I thought strategically, I want to make clear that I'm looking at this as an interesting 1-year apprenticeship or internship of me learning about Chinese communications. So then from there, guys, then there's some background about my history, okay, my career, starting as, so then when I mentioned international storytelling, journalism, teaching, global communications, I'm like, I need evidence, okay? I can't just tell them I need evidence to support that core message that I have this three-headed career. So then I talk about my reporting in Eastern Europe, Central Asia, the United Nations, and Southern Africa. I talk about the publications for whom I've written. Then I give some ideas to how and why I moved to China in 2015. Then I mentioned journalism teaching, so I need evidence of that. So in China, I taught at these universities, okay? And then here's my reason for why I then crossed over. So I said, after sharing my own skills and strategies with more than 1,000 Chinese grad students over the past decade, yes, I've counted, okay, in case you're wondering, not one by one, but 100 in this class, 100 in that class, that sort of thing. This move to CGTN, China Global Television Network, feels like a logical next step, a chance to work shoulder to shoulder with young Chinese professionals. Then I even said, happily, there's also the opportunity to coach and even train them now and then. Guess what I did? See, I'm a smart kind of guy. So when I say even train them, I'm like, I need evidence. So I hyperlinked, and if you click on this, it jumps over to, of course, the essay that I wrote about the time I led an internal training. Can you see this article? Okay. The time I led a training, that's me over there, tiny MJ over there, all right? The time I led a training, and when I led that training, I asked my Chinese colleague, can you take a few photos, please? Of course, sure. He didn't ask why, but the reason why was exactly for this reason, because I want some photographic evidence of me training the Chinese. This is about my career. I need evidence. I need written evidence, okay? And I need photographic evidence because that's very persuasive. Oh yeah, I see Michael over here and I see a lot of Chinese folks. It looks legitimate, okay? Maybe it's a training, maybe it's not, but it kind of looks like a training, okay? Oh, and then I included more photos, okay? But the point is that I jumped, going back to this article, okay? And I want you guys to do the same thing in the future. But with this essay, I also want to see this. Let's see if you guys can be smart and strategic about this. Now you'll have content, more content on your platform, okay? So for example, Isabella. Isabella, are you there? Isabella? She was with us before. Isabella, for example, has a couple papers about nursing that she wrote for her classes, and then she uploaded these articles, okay? And if she were to say, for example, in her essay, I'm fascinated by even the history of nursing, she could then hyperlink to that essay on her own platform as evidence to prove that she really is interested in even the history of nursing. You guys see what I mean? So now that you have content, I want you to follow this approach, which is also even cross-referencing to your own content, your own evidence, okay? Because then they surf to another article that you wrote or that you posted, and it's another piece of evidence, and it's another little punch, it's another little signal to their brain that, oh, she's serious. He's serious, okay? He's the real thing. She's the real thing. I want someone serious-minded in my office, in my hospital, in my workplace, okay? I like this young person, okay? That's all we're trying to do here. Any questions about that? Oh, by the way, this hyperlink here, when I said more than 1,000 Chinese grad students, you may say, how the hell do we know whether he's telling the truth or not? Okay. Any dude online can make up a story. Okay. So then I linked to an article that I wrote for, this is a Harvard University magazine on media called the Neiman Reports. And so, yes, when I began teaching in Hong Kong, teaching the students, I was like, hell yes, I want to write about this experience, not just to get paid for an article, or not just for my own ego to get my name out there. Here, you can see my name here. But because in the future, I need to show signs, some real evidence of things that I have done, because I've been a freelancer for 25 years. I'm out on my own, okay? Free as a bird, okay? But it's also a scary world out there. So I needed to also be building my brand throughout. Okay, so any questions about that? So I sent you the link, right? You have the link and you'll have this as evidence. So here's what I want. Oh, any questions, please? Come on, class participation. We're in the last few weeks of class. Let's assume Michael has a terrible memory and he doesn't remember whether you participated during the first 3/4 of the course. Finish strong. Leave a lasting positive impression, right? I've been so quiet this semester. Now I'll come through in the fourth quarter, okay? Impress me that way, no problem. So any questions about this? That was a big yawn from Fisola. That's why I'm drinking my coffee, so I don't yawn like that. No questions, no comments? Ria, no questions, no comments? It's all perfectly clear? Aisha, you have a comment? I see your light went on. No?
I think you did a good job of explaining.
Yeah, to
Really?
clarify,
I'm sorry, Dallas, yes?
we have to write in like our inspiration story and present it basically in a storytelling format.
Yes, I missed that third word you said. You said, yes, present a, repeat that, please?
Present our inspiration story
Yes,
and in a storytelling format.
yes, yes, but we're gonna look for that there is, I mean, you're right in general, but within that inspiration story, right? It's not just looking back, okay? It's also about thinking about the future, which is if someone reads this next month or next year, okay, I also want to connect this to what my future goals are, okay? What my future ambitions are and dreams and all that, okay? That's
Okay.
why I want you to think really strategically about this. Stroking your chin, I think that helps really. And you're thinking, huh, I could tell 100 stories, right, about key moments in my life, right? But in terms of, if you really think about, go back to some of the things you're trying to communicate when you first built your LinkedIn platform, okay? And like, yeah, I was trying to position myself this way, okay?
Right.
And then now let me think about a story, and I always use this word, relevant. Relevant. Is the story relevant to your message, to what your own evidence is? Relevant, meaning, is there a connection, a clear connection between the two? Okay, because again, since you could choose 100 stories, no, let me think about the story or one of the best stories that brings that to life most effectively and most persuasively. Okay.
Okay. All right. That works.
But
All
even
right.
like with the example I just gave to Erol, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So I want you guys, you know what would be great is if you guys have fun with this, okay? Because really, and I don't want to hear anyone. It's okay if you say, oh, but I'm more humble than that. I'm more modest than that. I don't want to be bragging about myself. And I'm saying, no, I don't want you bragging. I want you telling a factual story about yourself, okay? This is not going to be fiction. This is not going to be no need for exaggeration. Okay. I think you all, I'm sure you all, history has proven to me from the thousands of interviews I've done in my life, in my career, that you all have a good story to tell, and you have a good relevant story to tell as to how and why. You know what I call it? I call it the aha moment, okay? For each of you, okay? And again, you don't have to say, this is exactly what I want to do in my future. Just talk about maybe even a few possibilities, okay? Or in general in that direction, but at least where those thoughts and ideas, the thoughts and feelings for that direction comes from. There must be something that, an aha moment when the light bulb flickers on. Like, I like doing that. Maybe I could do that in the future, or something more passionately as to why exactly you want to do what you want to do. Okay? So let's have fun with this assignment. And oh, by the way, I've never done this before in a class with students. So despite all my years of experience teaching, I'm trying something new with you guys, an experiment, okay? But I think it's gonna go well. I'm very pleased with how your platforms look so far, and with some of the presentations I'm hearing, the critical thinking skills that I'm hearing. And I think you're ready to graduate to producing a real piece of strategic communications about yourself, to build your own brand. And that's what we're going to do, okay? And we're gonna also imagine that smart but skeptical audience. So we're gonna work hard to figure out strategically how to tell an effective and persuasive story to persuade. And that's what I tried to do with my essay too on LinkedIn is, you know what? If anyone's gonna read it, I'm gonna pound them with facts, with evidence. You see all the hyperlinks I put? This is time consuming to put hyperlinks. Okay, but here I am even analyzing the Chinese media. I'm like, yeah, I want to show some of my expertise that I've developed over the years about China too. Okay, because I'm trying to sell my product as a, I mean, look at what my title says now: visiting professor of journalism and specialist in China's global communications challenge. That's how I'm promoting myself. So then I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I need some sort of explanation as to why I even enjoy this stuff. You see what I mean? So you guys can do that too. That's what we're gonna do, okay? Now, any questions about, I told you it's gonna be 3 parts. Core message. What was the second? Core message supported by what? Anyone? Mark, you recall? Supported by concrete, credible evidence wrapped into a story. Okay? Okay, you know what? How about what? Ooh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I have a question. Is there a specific format that you're gonna send us like via email to look at?
Well, okay. You know what? Hold on. Very good question. You know what? Now I'm pulling out the big guns. The big guns is my PowerPoints. Okay, hold on. Let me get my PowerPoints. Don't worry, it's out. I was preparing to show you this. Hold on, where is it? Okay. Hold on, I'm switching screens. No, yes. Where is it? What the hell's going on here? Why is, sorry, it's not showing up on my shared screen. Hold on.
Now it is.
No, I wanted to show, I'm trying to show my PPT, which is
Is
not,
it open?
hold on, please. Hold on. Share screen. Okay, here it is. Okay. Here's, you know what? I do have a storytelling structure, okay? And I will show it to you right now. But I don't want to talk too much about it right now, okay? We'll talk more about the writing of it next week, okay? But to answer Layla's question, this is my diamond story structure, how I structure my stories, my essays, okay? And I'm going to, just like Eral's story, you know, it'd be better. Hey, Eral, are you still there?
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
tell, do you mind telling us a story of how you met that coach who gave you that scholarship? Would you please tell that story? Do you mind?
Well, it's my head coach now. But yeah, I don't mind.
Okay,
My,
cool. So how old
my
were you?
participation grade should be on 1,000. But I got you. I'm here with you.
Okay, all right, thank you. So let me lead you through this. First of all, how old were you at the time?
See, like that's the thing. I got my first offer I got like when I was my senior year in high school, so like 17, 18.
No, we got to choose 17 or 18.
You have 18.
18, okay. So just to be clear, so and this was growing up where? Where's your high school?
I was at a private school in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay, in the city or in the suburbs?
City.
In the city of Baltimore, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were 18 and I imagine a pretty good basketball player in high school.
I was all right, yeah.
Yeah, you were more than all right. And so then describe the scene. What were you doing when you first met that coach? But describe it in a way that we can all see this, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best.
Go ahead. So there you were.
All right, so for me it was like late, so I was kind of desperate for some offers. So I was just at practice one day, and my school, we had coaches come in and watch our practice.
Uh-huh.
So I had to try my best to perform during practice, which is like not hard. It's kind of easy because you know what's going on in practice.
Uh-huh.
But after practice, like I was waiting, and the head coach of Siena, this is my first offer. It was the head coach of Siena. He went in the office of my high school head coach. And there's like a glass.
To do what? A bribe?
No, he went in the office to talk to my head coach.
Okay. And
so,
about you?
I'll be about us and the players. So I'm trying to basically like, there's a glass. My coach had a glass window where we could see through.
Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to act like I'm not looking, but I was really like looking just to see if I can read lips and just understand who were they talking about. And
okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So basically the head coach walked out, and I saw him walking towards me, but I act like I didn't see him walking towards me.
Playing cool. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, basically just playing cool. Young kid, just desperate for offer at the time.
Division I. You were hoping.
Yeah, Division I offer. I had a few other ones, but the goal was Division I.
Okay, can I just ask you one question, just for a bit more context? Okay, you said you were getting desperate for a Division I scholarship.
Yeah, because it was already late.
Yeah, why were you desperate? Why do you feel desperate? Why were you concerned? That's my question.
Because it was already end of season of my senior season. Like most kids, they get their offers like going into their senior year.
Right.
And with AAU, so like I wasn't on a good AAU team. That's why I was saying I was all right, because like I wasn't at the top of the level.
Uh-huh.
So I was desperate because now it's time where a lot of kids are already committing to their schools. They know where they're going. So that's why I was desperate.
Right. See, now you're painting a picture like, okay, so now I think we can start to feel your desperation. Like, hey, it's getting late. Okay. And others are being snatched up. And what about me?
Yeah, I was getting desperate about my future.
And I'm curious about one more thing. This is about fleshing out a story. If you had not gotten a Division I scholarship, what would your other options have been? We need that context to appreciate. Like what you were weighing. Like if I don't do this, then I'll have to do that. What was it that you would have to be doing if not playing Division I on scholarship?
So if I didn't get no Division I, I was going prep school. It's like a graduate. It's like the kids go after high school before college if they're trying to get a scholarship. So I was going prep
for an extra year of
so it'd been an extra year,
training. So you would have tried 1 year later, perhaps.
Yeah, I would have tried again. Yeah, which like I should have done it, whatever. But yeah, I would have tried to I would have tried to go. It's called prep school after college. I mean, after high school, before college.
Yeah, okay. So, but at least you were looking at like, oh, but that's gonna suck. No, to spend one more year in high school, basically. No?
Yeah. But then it's like another chance to get like better schools. It was like a 50-50. Like if you go there, like, and you get better than what you are now, you may have opportunity to get even more looks than what you have now. So
Okay.
it's just that every kid is different. So it just depends on your situation and whatnot.
Okay. That's really,
So
and just one more thing. You see,
you good? It's all right.
once we get started. So then now I'm understanding that you were obviously really set on Division I, whether it's this year or next year, it's gotta be Division I and full scholarship, yeah?
Yeah, because most
And
Go
what
ahead,
if
I'm
you had not? What if you had not been a good enough basketball player to get a scholarship or to play Division I? Then what would you be looking at doing as a 19-year-old? Let's say once high school is over, would you still be
Oh.
going to university or Division II?
yeah. Yeah, it would have been like, see, it's like a lot of options. Like now that like I'm thinking about it, I could have went JUCO for 2 years, got my associates, and then potentially end up Division I again.
Transfer?
Like it's a bunch of options. Yeah, a lot of good kids, they come out of the JUCO program and go high major. So
Right.
it was a bunch of options.
Wow.
You know, it wouldn't, my dream wouldn't have been stopped there. I could tell you that.
Oh, yeah, you would. So that says something about you too, right? So you were very much committed to, no, it's going to be through basketball that I move upward. Yeah.
Yeah, because they give you a full ride. That's like the goal. From the main goal is for me to get a full ride, a free education, not no half. You know.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So now you're going back to where you're playing it cool and pretend like you don't see the coach there. And then what?
And then so I see he basically like woke up to me and was like, I saw some of your films, you look good, and like I'm gonna give you a scholarship, and we are offering you. So like I was like going crazy inside, but acting calm on the outside, and I just shook his hand and I said, thank you, I appreciate it. And I was really just like really excited for my first Division I offer.
Huh?
So like he obviously
Sienna's been in the tournament in March Madness. I remember Sienna.
the year they offered me, actually they went to the tournament that
They got a
year.
good basketball program historically, yeah. And then so that was your first. So you were excited. You gave yourself a high five. Did you pat yourself on the back?
Yeah, I pat myself in the back. I went to the bathroom. I was like screaming and throwing punches. I was like, I got it. You know what I'm saying? I was ready to commit right there on the spot.
Wow. You really would have taken.
But I had to play cool and stuff. Yeah.
What? Wait. So you said thanks very much, and then did you say let me think about it?
But yeah, they don't expect, like when they offer you, they don't expect you to, like they never expect kids to commit right there on the spot.
Okay. So here's an offer, and talk about with your family.
Yeah, he said, well, he basically said like we'll be in contact. I gave him my number. Like he was just he checked on me a few times, and if I had good games, like good game and all that extra stuff.
Wow. Okay. So then now we're getting to LIU is knocking on your door.
No, yeah. Well, LIU is my third one, but yeah, LIU. We can just skip to that one. LIU.
Wait, who was it? Just quick. Who was the second one?
Canisius. Yeah, Canisius. It's like the same conference as Siena.
Yeah. Okay. So then LIU.
So long story short, with LIU, when I got LIU, it was like a phone call. The head coach took the new job, but he was like he seemed more interested in me than the other coaches. So he was just like, how soon can you like come up to New York and see the campus? And like, it was just more like he just seemed more interested in me than the other coaches. The other coaches would reach out to me here and there, but they didn't, I don't know, it was just, I didn't feel the energy as much as I did with LIU.
See, now this is where it becomes important to get a couple of details to bring this to life, because this is your first impression of this guy who had this very deep impact on you, right? And so even and I'm trying to imagine what else did he do to make you feel that kind of warmth, or that his genuine, sincere interest in you? Because now we're talking. The reason why I'm asking is because you're also saying.
Professor, we have less than a minute.
Oh, okay, 4 o'clock, the 4 o'clock, thank you. Let's switch to 4 o'clock.